Hello everyone, I'm already 2 weeks in Kenya and training has been going very well.
What helps a lot is that the weather is also pretty sunny instead of rainy and cloudy in the first days.
I already got my first long run in this weekend. It was 26 kilometers, where I also performed 3 times 2 kilometers and 1 times 3 kilometers at 3:30 per kilometer pace, which is below my marathon effort. And it went pretty great.
I went down to Moiben Road, a famous tarmac road where the Kenyans perform the Saturday long run. And we also saw some giraffe in the wild park next to the road.
However, in this video I will go over my thoughts and some tips on how to target a race or a hard training mentally better. We talk a lot about the physical performance in training or racing. However, there's a big mental aspect in racing, of course, as well. In my opinion, it's good to be mentally tough and mentally well prepared to peak perform in your race as well. So let's go over some of my thoughts and tips for mental strength in your mental game in running. Before I left to Kenya, I managed to run some personal best.
Both on the 5 kilometer in 14:37 and 10 kilometer in 30:15.
A major part of this was not only my physical shape, but also a strong mental game and a strong mindset towards the race. I will explain this with an example.
For example, athletes A, B, and C are on the starting line of a 1500 meter race. Athlete A, he is physically the best trained, however, he is not feeling great and doesn't believe in a new personal best or the win today. Athlete B is physically not as good as athlete A, however, he is positive and believes in a good result today. And then athlete C is physically similar to athlete B, however, like athlete A, is not prepared to dig deep in the race and willing to sustain a lot of pain late in the race. What happens in the race is that athlete A doesn't perform well at all and misses the podium, whereas athlete C is doing okay and reaches the podium. However, he could have done better, like athlete B, who reaches his maximum potential and even wins the race from athletes who are physically similar or even better trained.
This was, of course, a silly example of the 1500 meter men race in Paris Olympics. However, I hope this shows my point that you need a good mental game with a positive mindset, a belief in a good outcome of the race, and also prepare yourself mentally to suffer a lot in the later stages in the race. And this counts for a 1500 meter race, but also for any distance like a marathon, for example. Let's go over some of my tips and thoughts how to perform better mentally in a hard training session or during your race. The first point may be pretty obvious, however, not easy to execute in my opinion. That is to have a positive mindset. You can, in my opinion, train this during hard training sessions as well. Try to generate positive thought instead of negative thoughts during your session. Like I can suffer a bit more, uh, keep pushing. Um, I can handle this pain quite a bit longer. Like a lot of positive thoughts instead of negative thoughts. And those negative thoughts will be like, it's still very far away. This hurts a lot. I can't do this. Why am I doing this? Etc. Etc. Really try to stay in a positive mindset during your race. Also, like a bit of a Buddhist view on racing to really race in the moment.
Race in the moment and don't think about how far you still need to go or how far you have come.
In the moment itself, there's always some energy left to dig even a bit deeper, and also try to get comfortable with the pain that's there at the moment. And don't think about what's yet to come in the race. And my second tip is to really believe in a good outcome of the race. In my opinion, if you don't believe in a good outcome, then it's pretty hard to also remain positive and get this positive race result that you're aiming for or a new personal best. So, believing in a good result is very important before a race. Of course, this belief can come from good training.
However, you still need to believe that a good result is possible in my opinion. Without this belief, it will be hard to surprise yourself on a good day.
It just started raining here a little outside. I hope it doesn't interfere that much with the audio. I can't complain, there was a lot of sunny days. Tip number three is to always aim for your best. There are not so many races through the year. So, in my opinion, if you start a race, always try to perform your best, or maybe even aim for a personal best. Otherwise, there's no point in racing, in my opinion. So then just maybe don't race, or pick a race a week or a month later. Don't go to a race without having a good belief or giving it all. Tip number four, start pushing already at the last 20% in the race. This is a very easy trick to apply to any racing distance.
Whether it's 800-meter race or marathon, in my opinion, most people wait too long to empty the tank. Here you see, for several distances, at what point you should give your last hard push. Over all these distances, I show the last 20%.
For example, in a 10-kilometer race where you're performing very well, if you wait to empty the tank only the last kilometer, there might be still something left when you reach the finish line.
Where the 20% rule says you need to push from 8 kilometers already.
And if you die just before the finish line, it's not a big issue, of course, because there's not much time to lose anymore. So therefore, I always apply this 20% rule in my races. And my last tip or thought is try to smile, the Kipchoge style. This is also something you can really practice easily during a hard training session. I always try to smile during a hard interval session or some point in the race as well. It helps you to relax the body and to trick the mind that it's not that hard at the moment.
The king of the marathon uses this also during his racing, Eliud Kipchoge himself.
It also helps, in my opinion, to make a hard training session or race more enjoyable. Pain is pleasure. I hope sharing my thoughts on my mental game and my mental training in running can help you out there as well. And if you have any questions or thoughts, please leave them down below in the comments. And as always, if you still got it today, have fun and get on the run.